It's Tuesday again, so the vendors have all new inventories for us. Let's check it out, starting with the Scholarium. We have Bound Affix Script Evasion. Adds evasion, a buff reducing damage from area effects. Bound Focus Script Shock Damage. Adds shock damage. Bound Signature Script Assassin's Misery. Adds improved use of status effects. Looks like that's it. Let's head over to Imperial City Sewers and the Telvar Merchant. Okay, we've made it to the sewers. Let's check it out.
This is all.
First up, we have Grotwood treasure maps. These are super cheap on traders. I definitely wouldn't spend 6,000 Telvar on them, but if you're curious, Grotwood brings us Green Pact, Ranger's Gate, Cerabane's Grip, and a chance for the leads for Ancestral High Elf boots or maces. We have more scripts. Bound Affix Script Berserk. Adds Berserk, a buff increasing damage done. Bound Affix Script Protection. Adds protection, a buff reducing damage taken. Bound Focus Script Taunt. Adds a taunt. And Bound Signature Script Anchorite's Cruelty. Adds a consumed soul gem to deal oblivion damage effect. Next up, we have Fragment of Madness. This is for the Annulment Vibrant Yellow skill style. It's one of 5 pieces. This one drops off the final boss in the Vaults of Madness dungeon. Remember, this is a guaranteed drop the first time you kill this boss. So if you're able to run this dungeon either through the dungeon finder or grabbing a couple friends, this one's a guaranteed drop. It might not be worth 25,000 Telvar, but if you don't run dungeons, it is here for you. We have leads. The first one is Length of Sharpened Spikes. This one is for Shapeshifter's Chain. This one drops from the final boss of Spindle Clutch 2, so kind of the same thing as the Fragment. If you were able to run the dungeon, this is not a difficult dungeon to run in general. However, this one, unlike the Fragment of Madness, is based on RNG. It is not a guaranteed drop. You'll probably have to do it a few times. So 25,000 Telvar for this one might be a little bit more worth it. The next one, Lustrous Prong Clasp. This is for Fawn's Lark Cladding. This one drops from Wood Nodes in Galen. I think this is a fairly easy lead to get. It's certainly not difficult to farm wood nodes. So I don't know that this one is worth 25,000 Telvar. Our jewelry this week, we have Necklace of Vengeance Leech and Ring of Vengeance Leech. This is a 3-piece set that's pretty decent in no CP PvP. I think people pair it up with Mark and Ring of Majesty. And then Vice Cannons, Necklace, and Ring. Okay, let's head over to Infinite Archive. Now let's see what Filer Ool has.
I hope you don't have your...
All right, I am super excited about this one. Westweald treasure map. I normally don't recommend treasure maps. However, not only does Westweald give you Alien Refuge, Macabre Vintage, and Symmetry of the Weald, there are 10 different potential furnishing leads that can drop from these. And to get the codex, you need 3 of each. Once you have 3 of an antiquity furnishing, you can then buy it from the achievement vendor. So anybody who is interested in housing typically wants to get codex so they can buy as many as they want whenever they want. To get 30 different furnishing leads of the right kind takes hundreds of Westweald treasure maps. Many of my archival fortunes might be going to this. All right, moving on. Archival Riddles. Consume 20 archival riddles to unlock the Archival Veteran Achievement and the Veteran of the Infinite Body Art. Here's the Veteran of the Infinite Body Art. At 3,000 archival fortunes a piece, getting 20 of these ends up being very expensive. These are guaranteed to drop eventually if you do enough of the Infinite Archive dailies. So that is my recommendation. But if you're only missing 1 or 2, then yeah, go ahead and grab them. Blueprint High Isle Table Compass Rose. On PCNA, this one retails for about 51 to 64K. I think this one's a pretty good deal. Next up, Bound Affix Script Force. Adds Force, a buff increasing critical damage. Bound Affix Script Heroism. Adds Heroism, a buff increasing ultimate generation. Bound Focus Script Mitigation. Adds damage reduction. And Bound Signature Script Cavalier's Charge. Adds an increase to damage as ability persists effect. Our style page this week is Chokethorn Mask. I never fault people for buying the mask from Ool. It's 15,000 archival fortunes. However, to get this mask, you have about a 4-day window when the style page drops. Having hard mode of that dungeon increases your chances of getting it, but the RNG is still horrific. So I do think it's worth 15,000 archival fortunes, even though this dungeon, Elden Hollow 1, is relatively easy to get the hard mode of. Next up, Cartographer's Rucksack. This is one of 7 pieces of the Masterfield Cartographer costume. The Cartographer costume pieces drop out of Nachunthskarst Public Dungeon in Blackreach Greymore Caverns. It is one of 7 pieces. These do retail for about 2,500 to 3,000 gold on PCNA. They drop relatively easily, but if you're missing a couple, I would probably just buy these on vendors. I think this is still worth it just to get it from the guild trader instead of spending 3,000 archival fortunes. Let's skip our books for now. Companion equipment jewelry. Remember, companion equipment when you get it from Filer Ul is bound, and you're at the mercy of RNG for traits. I do think jewelry is a better option than the armor, just because you don't have to worry about light, medium, or heavy armor. But this is still a little bit of a gamble for 5,000 archival fortunes. Geomancer's Druid Deck Fragment. This is one of 5 pieces of the Druid King deck for Tales of Tribute. This particular one comes from sealing volcanic vents in Galen. Our leads, we have Dwarven Scarab Head. This is part of the Dwarven Scarab Pet. It's one of 7 pieces. They drop in Buthar Zel, which is in Blackreach Arcsand Caverns near the Library of Arcsand. They drop off of Architron Dwemer mobs. The drop rate is absolutely horrendous. It took me forever to farm mine. This one is here for 5,000 archival fortunes if you need it. Next is Sturdy Silver Prongs. This is part of Death Dealer's Feet. I'm excited about this one because this lead drops from Dragonstar Arena, the final boss. Dragonstar Arena, even on normal with friends, is what, a 30 to 45 minute investment, and you're not guaranteed that it will drop. I would be happy to buy this one. All right, next, Elsewhere Bed Yellow 4-poster. I think this furnishing is beautiful. It retails for about 50 to 65k on PCNA. There's only 5 listings. This one is probably worth it. Next up is Pattern Wood Elf Tapestry Deer. This one on PCNA only retails for about 5 to 10k. This one might not be as worth it, but you decide for yourself. All right, back to books. Ciphers of the Eye. This one drops out of Infinite Archive. However, in order to get it to drop, or in order to be able to buy it, you need to know the eidetic memory. This one comes out of Ciphers, Midden, and Apocrypha. The next one, First Mate's Dalmer's Log, also drops out of IA, but the eidetic memory comes out of the quest in Apocrypha, the main quest line, Fate's Proxy. So you need to have done the quest in order to get this book. Or, if you're on PC, I will have both books available in the greenhouse, in my guild hall, on both PCNA and EU by the end of today. If you read the eidetic memory in somebody else's house, unlike Mage's Guild books, it does then count for your own eidetic memory. So those are available through house tours if you need them. Okay, we're going to run a couple arcs of Infinite Archive and see what new gear is dropping this week. Okay, the new gear that is dropping comes out of Starter Zone. So that's just Armor of the Trainee. And then also Rothgar, which includes Briarheart, Mark of the Pariah, and Trinamax Valor. That's going to do it for this week. We'll see you in the next one.